Hi guys, and welcome back to LPB Racing for the WEC Replica Championship on GT Sport. This is race 2 at Fuji of round 3. Well, let's have a look at the grid for this one then. So it is seat 1 on pole position. Obviously in this Porsche, obviously all the Division 2 guys have chosen the Porsche as their car. So Rod is in second, then Stacker gets third position, good qualifying for Stacker. Fourth place for Firepower, and then the other Division 1 car, the other Division 2 car, the LPB one, is Techno. And he's in 11th overall, so not a good qualifying for him. And then Callum in pole position for GTE, followed by Bidzster. Then it's Neil Farmack and Jamo in the Nissans, and then it's TY in the other art car, the Porsche in 9th, and then it's 10th for Task 1. So let's see how this race gets on then, guys, and let's see who's going to come out on top in the different ones. So we're waiting for the lights to come on the Panasonic tree at the top. Here we go. 3, 4, 5 red lights, and we're green and we're away. Again, plenty of wheel spin from a few cars. Everyone else gets a good start. Watch Techno from coming through in the LMP one at the back. So we go down towards the first corner. Then it's going to be Porsche Marlboro team in the lead, followed by Jorex, who takes the other Jorex off, and Stacker in third. Then we've got all the GT boys trying to come through, and then we've got, so it's seat 1, Rodders, Stacker, Firepower in the order, and then in GTE, Techno's trying to get round everyone. I think there was a bit of contact at first, and there's no more contact there with Techno in the middle of the GTE boys. He's got to be more careful than that as everyone works their way around. Meanwhile, the LMP1 boys are already at the next corner. So it's seat 1, Rodders, Stacker, Firepower, still the same order, and then we've got Callum with Bidzster behind Neil for trying to battle for second place, and then Techno there in the middle of these lot. He'll hopefully be able to pass these boys with relative ease down here. So he's going to get past, he might be able to get past Bidzster, or he might have to wait, we'll have to see. He's going to dive up the inside, yes he is. It's going to be risky because he's waiting, because Bidzster's going to take his own line. So Techno waiting there. As we look, we've got Stacker who's gone off. Stacker's gone off in 4th. Stacker's made a mistake. Firepower gets through to 3rd. There he is. And Rodder's still in 2nd, chasing seat 1. And then we've got Callum in the lead of GTE, followed by, whoa, Techno tries to pass Bidzster and overdoes it. So he's really getting annoyed with these GTE boys, but again, it's his own fault for not being on the track at the end of qualifying to keep his position. So unfortunately doesn't get it. So there he goes, now he can pass Bidzster on the straight. Meanwhile, we've got Rodders and Seat close together up front for the LMP1 lead. It's Seat 1 in the lead, followed by Rodders. So it's Porsche Marlboro team ahead of the two Jorex cars, Team Jorex cars, and then it's the other Porsche Marlboro car of Stacker, and then we've got Callum in first place in GTE with Techno now closing on him to try and close up to his class. He might go up the inside here, or he's going to have to wait. Ooh, risky, but just about gets it done. Doesn't compromise Callum's line that time, so good job. So Bidzster in 2nd place, Jamo in 3rd. Let's have a look at the tyres then. So all on soft tyres, I think. TY's on the hards. TY's on the hard tyres, so he's going a completely different route to everyone else. Task 1 there on the medium tyres, and then Neil Farmack's gone to the back in this group as well, so Neil Farmack's been shuffled back. So we'll get a replay on that. Okay, here's a replay of what happened to Neil Farmack on the first lap then. So you see he's going into the chicane, Techno behind him. Watch here, he puts the power on the curb. Too much power, spins the back end of the car round, goes onto the AstroTurf, and then rejoins at the back. As we come back from that replay then, Seat 1 still in control of this race from Rodders. So Rodders in 2nd, still piling on the pressure in the number 53 car. Then it's 27, Firepower in 3rd. Then it's 56, Stacker in 4th. Then we've got Techno, number 7, coming around those corners. He's obviously lost about quite a bit of time to his class with those other battles. And we've got Jamo, TY, Task 1 and Neil, all having a close battle here. Porsche and the Corvette sandwiched between the two Nissans. Obviously not teammates. The Nissan is Jamo is independent, and then Neil Farmack is actually teammates with Nick Hash, who unfortunately for the 2nd week running is not here. So unfortunately for Nick Hash, not able to make a few of these races, but we'll hopefully see him back in the championship sooner rather than later, hopefully. As we go down the straight then, this is where the Porsche will not be very good of TY, even though he is in the draft of Jamo. I guarantee the others will try and catch up to him in the draft. Task 1 closing up, Neil Farmack's closing up on Task. He's moving out to have a look. Here we go. Neil Farmack moving out for a move on Task 1 into the first corner hairpin. Again, the pit window is in between 12 and 16. Just to remind you all, as Neil goes right up the inside of Task 1, but Task 1 not giving him an inch. Not giving him even a millimetre. As we go side by side down to the next corner, Task 1 on the inside, Neil on the outside. Someone's going to have to fold, and it's Task. Neil gets the move, so Task 1 goes down to 11th. Neil gets the move into 10th. Well done. And TY not doing bad on the hard tyres compared to those around him, but I do think those are going to slow him up for TY. He could have done better with starting on the medium or soft tyres, but we'll see if anyone can make the hard tyres work. It's TY. Meanwhile, Bidzster then trying to catch up to Callum. There he goes, Callum in the Corvette. Bidzster trying to catch up in the Porsche. Meanwhile, all these bots fighting out here. Meanwhile, in LMP1, the two Durex cars are catching the Porsche Marlboro car of Seek 1. So Seek 1 being caught here by the two Durex cars. Clearly using some more slippery rubber, or grippy rubber, shall I say. Yeah, Rodders. Oh, very sideways for Rodders there, and that could leave his teammate a gap. Firepower with the fastest lap of the race, a 1:28.8. Firepower on fire here in his Porsche. Fastest lap of the race, not leaving any prisoners here. On the soft tyres, still managing his fuel very well as well, so Firepower could be a threat for the win in this one. You never know. Anything's possible. As we go out of that corner, get the power on, straighten the car out, minimise the wheel spin. Stacker is meanwhile has been passed by Techno, so Stacker going backwards here, obviously still not enjoying these cars very much this season, so hopefully better luck next season for Stacker. Meanwhile, we've still got Seat 1, Rodders and Firepower very close on track. We'll just have a quick look back at the GTE battle, of which TY's been passed by Neil. That'll have been an easy straight line pass, I know it, because the Porsche does not have the straight line speed compared to the Nissan. But also remember, you have got to try and save a bit of fuel in this as well, if you can. So TY might be saving fuel a bit earlier, that explains the difference in the fuel gauge. So as we go on to the straight then, we've got Rodders has gone backwards towards his teammate a little bit. Seat 1 pulls away. Will Firepower get the fastest lap this time round, or will he end up being slower? Seat 1 doesn't improve, and neither do all the others, so obviously the tyres just starting to play a role in the factory in things here. As a Firepower not wanting to attack his teammate just yet. We'll see how the race develops first. As Techno and Stacker very close onto the straight as well. Then we've got Callum there in the lead of GTE, followed by Bidzster in the Porsche. But again, Callum using a bit more fuel than the Porsche. They're both quite even on tyres as well. So there goes Bidzster through and up the hill. Remember, Bidzster still racing with one hand after injuring his hand earlier on in the week. So Bidzster handicapped here, but still doing very well in 7th place, and Callum still dominating proceedings up front. And then we've got Jamo followed by Neil, TY and Task 1. Nice little battle here for all these guys. The two Nissans now at the front. Let's have a look at the fuel difference, and I can say it's safe to say that Jamo saved more fuel than Neil, so Neil's clearly wanting to go for it here. Clearly feeling like he's got the pace and wanting to lead this pack. So Neil gets ahead of Jamo, just because obviously Jamo's got the engine turned down a bit, trying to save a bit more fuel into the first corner. So Neil Farmack in the lead of this group now. Meanwhile, Firepower is still right behind his teammate, pushing him all the way, trying to say, come on, let's catch Seat 1, see what we can do about him. They both get a decent run onto the straight. Firepower in the draft. Obviously Firepower could end up turning the engine down a bit here for a bit of fuel saving. We'll have to see how things go. But let's have a look back to the GTE battle. Neil, Jamo, TY, Task, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. Or actually in class 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. So we'll see how that goes. Meanwhile, Callum's still in the lead of that class, followed by Bidzster. Still a bit of a gap between them, but still all to play for here between these lot. TY on the hard tyres again, not wearing very much, but and obviously he's still got quite decent pace, yeah, it has to be said. So TY not out of the woods yet. Task 1 trying to go into the woods and kick up the dust, but no harm done there. So all these guys pulling out similar lap times to a point. Neil Farmack a bit quicker than the others, because obviously he feels like he's got the pace, but obviously fuel will be a factor in this. So let's have a look at the LP1 boys then. We've still got Seat 1 from Rodders, from Firepower, still the same order, but still very close. It could be the pit stops or even the traffic that decide this, as Rodders goes very wide there out of that corner. See the battery working itself, using the battery, saving the battery. When it goes red at the bottom, they're using the battery. And when it goes green there, as the F is, goes green, they're charging the battery. And obviously again red, they're using it. Firepower goes a bit deep there into that corner. So we'll go back to the GTE boys then. All putting in their personal best fastest laps, 140.1, 140.8, 141.0 and a 41.5, but Task 1's fastest lap was his previous one. Probably had a bit more draft than before. Into the corner, Task 1 getting rid of a little penalty there. They're all still close together, but not really a scrap like we would imagine it, because obviously it is an endurance race, so it's going to be about strategy as well as outright battling and pace. As we go down to the next corner, Jamo closes up on Neil a bit under braking as TY goes very wide there and decides to go through the other chicane, and that loses him a lot of time. Look at that, can't even get the lock to go around the chicane, so the chicane's badly designed. So TY goes right to the back then, so unfortunately, obviously he was trying to do the good thing of not turn across Task and go up the escape road, but obviously the escape road would be more of a problem than the actual track would be, so not good. So Task 1 gets a position. Meanwhile the two Nissans very close to each other still. Jamo in the draft this time. Jamo able now to save even more fuel behind Neil. So, and also saving his tyres a lot better as well. So Jamo thinking about the long run here, as Jamo usually does. So there's Rodders and Firepower. They're onto the straight now, so they're going to start catching GTE boys very soon. And there's the first one, TY in front of Seek 1. As we go down towards the first corner, we've got a little bit of a battle ahead. So let's look back. Sorry, Neil Farmack and Jamo still very close on track, but Neil goes a bit wide there. Jamo might close in, he does, but I don't think Jamo's going to be content to pass Neil. I think he'll be quite happy to stay behind and save fuel, so we'll have to see what's going to develop there in the coming laps. Because remember, the pit window isn't until lap 12 for both classes. So Seek 1 now catching up, he's already passed one of the cars. Rodders now catching up to TY. So Rodders goes to the outside, and obviously TY's got the right of braking, so Rodders been a bit over ambitious there, and now he gets out the corner and puts the power down. And Firepower will have a nice easy job getting around here, so Firepower will catch up to his teammate ever so slightly there. Into the chicane, Rodders takes a good line into there. Meanwhile there's Techno, and Stacker's not letting him go. Stacker has found some pace here. He's not letting Techno go, he wants to try and keep with him if he can. So good job here by Stacker. Callum's still in the lead in GTE, then you can hear the low note of that Corvette, saving as much fuel as he can. Bidzster with a lot more dead tyres than Callum, so we'll have to see what the strategy is going to be for Bidzster here as well. Neil Farmack meanwhile in front of Jamo still very content to stay behind him and save fuel. As Seat 1 comes up to the back of these two now, down the straight, Jamo looking for a move here, he might go for the move as Seat 1 just goes flying past in the Porsche, straight past, moves in before the braking zone. Is that further in front? Jamo now pressuring Neil now. He's obviously feeling like there's a time for a bit of pressure because he's saved a bit more fuel. He might be able to get to he'll definitely be able to get to the pit stop window now, so why not? As we've got a car off ahead. Who's that? Bidzster! Bidster's been off! Bidster's gone off the track. I thought I saw a car spin off, so we'll get a replay on what happened to Bidzster there. Okay, here's a replay what happened to Bidzster then. So into this corner we go. We go onto the outside, we catch the curb there, boom! Straight across, can't keep control of the car, spins off backwards into the wall, and then has to sort of try and fish for gears, and then gets back going, rejoins the track, but by that time, he's lost a lot of time. So as we come back from Bidzster's, well, very weird error, obviously not like Bidzster to make an error like that, but he's done it, and Neil Farmack and Jamo close into second place now. As Rodders goes around the outside of Jamo, kicks up the dust, and then goes right around Neil, up the inside of Neil into the corner. He's going to compromise Neil's line, hits him. Not good from Rodders. These Division 2 guys need to really practice their... Oh, and he hits him again. They really need to practice their lapping skills as Jamo goes up the inside of Neil and takes advantage of that. So Neil's lost a place due to the lapping cars. Firepower being a lot more sensible about this. waiting behind. The GT boys get right of way. He might be able to squirt past Neil here, or if he doesn't, he's going to wait for the straight, save up a bit of hybrid energy, and then get past him onto the straight where it's nice and clean. And obviously, look, there he goes. Out the corner, puts the power down. Firepower, an example of how you should do it. Learn from that, Rodders. Learn from your teammate and everyone else that doesn't lap properly. Firepower is the man to watch when it comes to that. Good job. So Bidzster, so there's Rodders in second, Seat 1 in first. Let's go back down to the GTE boys then. So we've got Callum, he's just coming down towards the Coca-Cola curve. Bidzster going out the first corner. Jamo in third place now, ahead of Neil because of Neil's trouble with traffic. So Neil down to fourth. Task 1 now in fifth, obviously still, and TY after that excursion to the runoff area that bit him bad, down in 11th place, 6th in class. Let's have a look back at seat 1's got a good lead here. Rodders second place. Firepower still behind the other cars, obviously been a lot more patient than Rodders has been as he goes to pass Bidzster there after Bidzster made his error. So I wonder if Bidzster's going to think about pitting anytime soon, or will he try and get to the pit window? He might try and get to the pit window. We'll have to see how he goes here. So breaks into the corner, puts the lock on. There's Jamo doing the same thing. Neil Farmack following. There's Task 1 with Stacker coming up behind and almost hits him. There's Techno's now making his way through the traffic, so we'll watch Techno here going through the traffic. Stacker trying to get going. So Techno's working his way through the traffic now. Will he be kind to Neil Farmack? He's going to go around the outside. He's still on the outside. Oh, risky again. Not compromising the GT's lines. You've got to stop doing this, guys. Just wait behind until you get to the straight. What's so hard about that? As Stacker comes out the corner then, he waited for a good time to pass Task 1. He waited for a nice clean stretch of road. That's how you should do it, Techno. Wait for the blooming straight. As Firepower goes through, the example of how to do things. Rodders in second then, and then look at Seat 1's lead. That's a good 15-second lead at least. So Seat 1 controlling this race, showing them all how it's done in Division 2 and showing signs of promotion to Division 1 next season. We go look at Rodders. Rodders goes through the 160R. There's Firepower going through there as well. Nice lines there. Techno's just past Bidzster into that next corner as well. So now his next target's the leader is in GTE, which is Callum. He's working his way around here. So next lap, the LMP1 pit lane window will open. So we'll have to watch out for the pit stops. This is where it will start to get confusing, guys, and I'll try my best to keep up with the confusion if I can. So as we look at Techno then, catching Callum, there he is. There's Callum in the yellow Corvette. And Stacker's just past Bidzster as well. So just keep an eye on this, because obviously these Division 2 guys are not as good at through the traffic as the Division 1 boys. So we'll see how things go here. Callum sounds like he's run a bit wide there, but he gets away with it. Oh, he's not going to try the outside again, is he? No, this time he waits. Well, he wanted to go for it, but he got shoved onto the outside. And now he's going to try. Oh, I thought we were going to try to dive up the inside then. Just wait for the straight. Techno. There we go. Gets out the corner, puts on the power. Now you get past. That's how you do it. Oh, dear. As we look down the field then. So there's Callum with Bidzster catching up now. So Callum definitely did make a mistake there. Let's have a look at the lap time from Callum this time round. It was a 1:44 to Bidzster. So what Bidzster's done this time round, unless you turn the wick up a bit, 42. So yeah, but look at Bidzster's tyres compared to Callum's and Jamo's. Absolutely shredded. So Bidzster's not as good on his tyres as the others in this one. Into the corner, slides the car in, he's losing time. I think he's just trying to get to enough to the pit window to do a mandatory pit stop. If he can. So pit lane will open next lap for these boys, so we'll have to wait a bit longer, Bidzster. As Seat 1 now, he's on the pit window lap, and look, fast lap of the race, 28.4, takes it off Firepower. So 1:28.4 for Seat 1, so he takes Firepower's fastest lap and does the fastest lap of the race. Now, will he pit early or will he pit a bit later on? I think he's going to go later on. Looking at the fuel and the tyres are all good. Yep, he's going to do pit later on. Meanwhile, there's Rodders with the soft tyres on towards the last corner. There's Firepower coming up towards the last corner as well, so going through the second to last. And then Rodders goes down the straight. Will he pit this lap or will he not bother? No, he's going to go round. So Firepower, will he do something different here? Will he actually pit as soon as the pit window opens? So is he going to go round? No, he's going round as well. So Obviously people wanting to do different strategies in this one. There's Techno going through in 4th. Here you go. Oh, is he? Yes, no, maybe. Pit lane for Techno then. Pit lane window opens immediately and he goes in. So Techno the first one to pit. And Stacker goes through into 4th. So Techno then in his garage, waiting for his pit crew. There's Callum. There's Techno into his box, up on the jack, changing the tyres over. So Callum goes past in the Corvette. Bidzster's getting passed by Jamo, so obviously inevitably with the tyres and fuel, Bidzster is saving fuel and his tyres, so he's behind Jamo now. So into the first corner behind Jamo then. So Bidzster's tyres are absolutely dead compared to everyone around him. Neil Farmite then being caught by Task 1 slowly, because Task 1's tyres are in better condition than Neil's are. And TY further back, he's going to have to pull a real rabbit out of the hat here. So he might go later on with the pit window and then do the softs for the last half of the race. You never know. So we could see a different strategy here from him as well. As we look to the leader then, Seek 1 goes across the line again. So remember, he's got till the end of lap 16 to pit. Once he starts lap 17, that is it. Pit window is shut. Here comes Rodders. Will Rodders come in this time? He's the other end of the white line, so it looks like he's going to. Yeah, Rodders is into the pits. So Rodders in for his pit stop now. Slows the car down and into the pits. Will Firepower follow his teammate, or will he go round? I think he's going to go round. He's got more fuel saved than Rodders, so Firepower's probably going to do an extra lap. So Firepower goes into 2nd place. Stacker comes through the last corner then. He looks like he might be heading for the pit lane with the line. I don't know, will he or not? Nope, Stacker goes round again as well, so Stacker goes round again. Techno's behind some more traffic now, so let's see if Techno can do it proper this time. He's going to wait behind. Yeah, that's better. He's waiting behind. And he's going to go out this corner. He's going to wait. There we go. He's going to wait behind again. Wait for the straight and do it then. Obviously, I know he's been into the pits already, so he's on the hard tyres now. So, oh, Task 1 makes a mistake and bang! Hits Techno, so that wasn't Techno's fault. Task 1 just made a mistake there. So, Techno wrong place, wrong time as they go through. And obviously the GTE boys onto their pit window now. So on to lap 13. So they've already been round 1, so pit window is open for them as Bidzster gets caught now by Techno. Let's see if anyone else is pitted. So Seat 1 goes round again. Firepower obviously not pitted yet. Stacker not either. Rodders has, so we'll have to see where that's going to bring them out. So is that Seat 1 into the pits, or is that someone else into the pits further back? TY's in from the hard tyres, so clearly decided, right, okay, pit window, get off these hard tyres, enough is enough. Fuel it up and let's see how it goes. Unless he sticks on the hards, we don't know. As Techno obviously just passed Jamo there and Bidzster, so Techno just passes them too. TY's coming out of the pits on the soft tyre now, so TY's changed to the softs. So let's see how that goes for the remainder of the race. Seat 1 still in the lead then, not pitted yet. Firepower goes round again as well, so they will have to pit in the next 2 laps. Stacker's coming round now. Will he pit this lap or will he go round again? Stacker decides to go round again. Rodder's catching him up now, so Rodder's on the move here. He's going to get some good fast laps in here with the fuel turned up. So we'll see what happens, and obviously fresh rubber as well. So every lap where the others don't pit, they're not really helping themselves. But again, it could help towards the end of the race. So still strategies floating round as Techno goes and passes Callum onto the straight. So will Callum pit this time? Obviously he's got dead tyres almost, but he's going to keep going. Obviously he wants to try and keep going as long as he can and get to roughly the halfway mark and then pit, so the second set lasts longer. Bidzster, so there goes Jamo. Bidzster's in. Look at the front left tyre and the fuel. Absolutely to the maximum, Bidzster there. So Bidzster's in. That's going to be a long stop for the fuel, and so is Neil, because he's even lower on fuel than Bidzster is. And Seat 1's in from the lead as well. So Seat 1's into the pits as well. So all happening here. Firepower's going to have to pit sometime soon as well. Let's look at Bidzster in the pits then. Neil Farmack now putting fuel in. TY's going to come round here on the soft tyres. He might even trump both of these guys. I think he is as well. Let's see how that goes as Task 1 obviously goes through. He's got minimal fuel left. He's going to have to really scrape fuel to get around this lap. As TY goes through there, Bidzster's coming out of the pits. So Neil's coming out of the pits as well. Seat 1's in the middle of these boys. Here comes TY. So TY at the back, but he's a lot closer than he was. TY's a lot closer than he was before. He's caught up the time. Put him in some hard laps. Passing Neil now at the inside. Oh, almost contact as Seat 1 passes Bidzster up ahead. There he goes. Meanwhile, Neil Farmack up the inside of TY, but no way through there. TY keeps ahead. Firepower into the pits then. Rodders into second. Firepower's in now, so he's lost some time after that. Stacker's in as well. Techno's coming up to the line. So again, it could be close between these lot. Firepower's coming out of the pits now. Firepower's out, not put as much fuel in though. So Firepower's not put as much fuel in. Stacker's in the pits. Techno's coming round. But Stacker's still got to fuel up. So Techno will be in 4th place. As Callum now comes round, he's coming in for his pit stop now. So Callum comes in. Straight into the pits goes Callum. Jamo's following him as well. Bit of a shortcut into the pit lane there, Jamo, but hey ho. As Task 1 again, he's going to come in for his, and he's just ran out of fuel as he comes into the pits. I think that's either going to be 1 or 0. When he comes at 0, so he just ran out of fuel as he went into the pits there. Here comes Bidzster. That's the man to watch as we go around. So obviously the LMP1 boys seek from, they've all pitted now, so seek 1 in the lead from Rodders, Firepower, Techno and Stacker. Meanwhile, Callum's in the pits, so's Tass, so's Jamo. Bidzster's coming towards the line now. Gotta watch where Callum's coming out, but he's put less fuel in. So Callum's put less fuel in here. Callum comes out in the lead. Jamo comes out in 2nd place. Bidzster's 3rd. He's behind Jamo. So Bidzster will have to start pushing now, or even save fuel behind Jamo. We'll have to see. So there's TY. He comes out there in 9th place overall. 10th for Neil Farmack, and Task 1 having to save all that fuel in his in-lap, so misjudged the pit window there for him. He should have pitted about a lap earlier because of the fuel, but we'll never mind, live and learn. Task. You look at Jamo and Bidzster's past Jamo. Bidzster not wasting no time, and he wants to get after Callum as he was just down the road. So Bidzster trying to catch Callum now, so obviously not wanting to save fuel or anything behind Jamo, just wants to go for it. So they're all on the soft tyre now. Let's have a look. Soft. Mediums for Neil and mediums for Task. But I do think the soft tyre is the tyre to be on because it's the more grippier tyre. 35.4 for TY's personal best of the race last time round. So definitely put in a few good outlaps there for TY. As they all close up into the next few corners, TY takes a better line there than Jamo. Jamo compromises himself out the corner. Will TY have a little look here? He's not going to try and go for it, is he? But he'll struggle to stay with the Nissan on the straight, so I would imagine he'd stay behind and try and save fuel, or he's going to try and just go past. Why not? So TY side by side with Jamo then, wanting to use up his fuel and try and catch his teammate. Side by side down the straight still, and TY's just in front. So Jamo now will be able to save fuel behind him towards the end, which will help towards the end because he'll be able to put more power on later on in the race. TY wanted to try and catch his teammate here. Go out of the first corner. Let's have a look further back. We've got Neil Farmack with Task 1 further back. Let's have a look at the leaders of this race then. So Seat 1 in the lead by a country mile. A good 30-second lead for Seat 1 there in the lead. 30-second lead over Rodders, who's catching up to the battling Jamo and TY. But this time he waits behind. Waits till he gets out the corner, takes the tighter line, gets the hybrid power down and goes straight past. That's how you're supposed to do it, Rodders. Now he's got to get past TY. Will he be able to do it before the next corner? No. Waits. Oh, he's diving down the inside. Compromising TY's line again. Oh, these Division 2 guys really need to learn how to deal with traffic. Patience, boys. Patience. I know you want to get past because it is a race, but still you can't just compromise the GT's line, especially when it's the rule that the GT cars get right of way. Now he's being patient, he'll have to wait until he gets to the start-finish straight, then he'll be able to get past. Or just dive up the inside and compromise TY's exit, why not? And then go wide yourself, but just about makes it through. So Firepower there, he's behind his teammate. A bit of a gap behind now, about 8 or 9 seconds to his teammate now. There's Techno about another 10 seconds behind Firepower, and then Stacker about another 10 seconds behind Techno. So all quite spread out in LMP1, Division 2. And meanwhile, Division 1 GTE, Callum in the lead by, again, quite a gap. Well, not as much of a gap as it was though, because Bidzster's catching him up. So Bidzster really trying to put the power down here and catch up to Callum as he gets lapped by Rodders. Little flash the light, say hello. Go around this corner then, round 160R. TY pushing hard, trying to catch his teammate. Jamo there in 9th place. And trying to keep with TY. Let's have a look at TY then. The art car. Out of that corner, down towards the chicane. There's Bidzster. And then we've got Callum's just been passed by Rodders, so Rodders obviously did it in a decent enough spot. Callum now being caught by Bidzster slowly. Again, look at the tyres. Bidzster's shredding his tyres a lot faster than the others. So I wonder if Bidzster's even going to keep his 2nd place with the tyre shredding rate that he's doing. But we'll have to see. There's TY closes. There's Jamo 9th. Still Neil Farmack in 10th. Task 1 with Techno right behind him, waiting to lap him. As we watch here, you'll see in the next shot, you should see Techno, there he is. Try and pass Task 1. So Techno goes really, really wide there. Really wide. And then up towards the 2nd to last corner. Again, he's waiting for the straight. Sensible stuff from Techno. He's finally learned his lesson to wait for the straight. And then go through. So there's Techno. The hybrid power, he'll use a little bit of it that he's got there, a little bit of juice, get past Task 1 onto the straight, and happy days, hunky-dory. So Roddy's in 2nd place still, Firepower still a really, really good 3rd position. So it'll be a good podium finish for this Firepower if we can keep it to the end. Good work here. Rodders again, well deserved podium in 2nd place, but again not over until the fat lady sings at the end, or the checkered flag waves, whichever one you want to call it. Callum goes through, there's Bidzster, and there's TY being caught by Firepower, so Firepower the more sensible of the Division 2 guys when it comes to lapping people. So he'll wait for this point, he'll get on the hybrid and he'll go past TY right on the inside. Doesn't compromise a single thing. So that's how it's done it, a bit of patience and precision, and he can get through with ease. Down to the chicane then, his next target is Bidzster, who TY is slowly catching up to. So TY slowly catching up to his teammate. Well, saved a bit more fuel, but they're both a bit equal on tyres as well. Just look at the fuel gauges, guys. So yeah, TY saved a lot more. Sorry, Bidzster saved a lot more than TY, so TY using up a bit more fuel, but I reckon he's going to try and catch his teammate, then stick in his draft for a bit, try and save some more fuel. So we'll see what the strategy is going to be towards the end of the race. Obviously, the GT boys. Sorry, I just might put out there. But yeah, the GT boys obviously they'll do a few less laps than the LMP1 boys will do the full 28. The GT boys might do about 26, 25, 26, something like that, because obviously they'll have been lapped about 2 or 3 times. So we'll have to see exactly how much that is towards the end when this guy crossed the line. So Seat 1 controlling this race, easily a 1/3 of a lap ahead of the next person. Maybe you could even just about class it as half a lap almost, because it's a really, really big lead to Rodders, who's just done the best first sector of the race and the best 2nd sector. So Rodders wanting that extra point for fastest lap here desperately. As his teammate Firepower desperately wanted to get past some more cars, he's past his Callum there. Techno right behind Jamo, obviously he's got to try and wait for a gap for Jamo here, as Jamo's got right of way. Again, he'll wait for until out this corner, use the hybrid power, and use the hybrid power to have a massive twitch, and then gets past Jamo. So heart in mouth stuff there for Techno as he goes past Jamo, but gets it done cleanly enough. Stacker going round in 5th, but at least he's kept with the pack more in this race. He's not really gone backwards as much as he did last time. So every cloud has a silver lining, as they say, as he goes a bit deep into that corner there. As we look at Callum coming around the last corner with Bidzster closing up on him, there he is, and TY there is Bidzster's teammate closing up on him as well, so all to play for here. As we go down the straight, watching Bidzster put that power on. Let's have a look at the fuel compared to TY. TY is using a lot more fuel, so unless they're planning to pit again, I'm not sure if this is going to work, but Callum's got just over half a tank left, so Callum really saving fuel good here, so that's probably why he's a bit slower at the minute, because he's concentrating on saving fuel. As TY passes Bidzster, so Bidzster's let his teammate go, clearly thinks that TY's definitely got the pace. So let's see what happens here then. So TY with the pace then, compared to Bidzster, and obviously Bidzster wants TY to pull him up to Callum. So we'll see if this can work for the two teammates, see if the teamwork can work for him. Let's just watch Bidzster again, because we've got Techno closing up to him as well. So Techno closing up to these boys. As he tries to go around the outside there, no, that's not going to work, so just wait until the exit of this corner, get the power down, use the hybrid, and go straight around the outside of these boys. Oh, as he goes onto the grass there, because he's been really risky, he's going to go up the inside of the door. Just about gets to move on TY before the next corner, but risky stuff still, but gets it done. As his next target is Callum. TY, obviously we can see he's got less fuel. Obviously Bidzster will not know what his teammate's fuel status is. Go on to the straight end, so TY's going to have to really pull him round here to try and catch Callum, but again, I don't think that's going to be enough fuel to get to the end of the race, and they might have to do another stop here. Callum might be able to get to the end because he's saving very well, but the Porsches might even end up having to pit again. So we'll have to see what happens here. Further back there's Jamo in the Nissan and Neil in the other Nissan, but obviously not teammates. There's Bidzster and Callum, sorry, Bidzster and TY have come into the pits, so clearly both of them thinking of a strategy here, because they're not going to be able to get to the end on the current fuel. So we're going to get some fresh tyres and try and see if we can salvage anything from this race, because obviously they know that they're not going to get to the end. So Neil goes through into third position, Jamo into second. These boys still in the pits. TY's out already. Quarter tank. Bidzster's gone a little bit further on the fuel. I think Bidzster's probably put too much in, but we'll see. So he should be able to at least keep the WEC turning up for the rest of the race all the way. So we'll see what happens here, but I think Bidzster has put a bit too much fuel in. He's got Tass right behind him now, and he's got a bigger gap to his teammates, so he's lost his teammate's draft. So that's not helped Bidzster out at all, but we'll see if TY can catch Neil and co, who are further up ahead. Meanwhile, let's give Tass One a little bit of a ray of hope here, but we'll see. Because Tass One's got older tyres, and I know he's got less fuel, but he's got older tyres. So we'll see what happens here. And also to commend Task One, as you can see from the driving aids down at the bottom right, he usually runs the stability assist as well, which is the little triangle. But obviously it's greyed out in this one because he's not using it, so good job for Task One. We get in there because he's using a few less assists. Obviously we don't judge people in LPB racing for using assists. You can use what you like, as long as it's not considered cheating, which is I don't think the driving aids are really, because they're there to help people just if they're a bit less experienced. Obviously we try and encourage people, if they are getting better, to try and run with less aids to try and balance it out, but we'll obviously for some people it takes longer than others, so well done to Task One there on that achievement for the using less aids. Look now, Jamo in second place, Callum in the lead now, as they've got a lot more of a cushion now, can relax a bit more, because I don't think TY and Bidzster are going to be much of a threat here. As you look at Jamo then with Seat 1 right behind him, so Seat 1 patiently waiting until out the corner, because he's got all the time in the world, no rush to Rodders in second place, and he goes through on the inside, nice and cleanly past Jamo. Let's have a check in on the LMP1 boys then. So Seat 1 in the lead with a good bit of fuel left. Rodders second, but on the soft tyres, which are dying, but obviously a bit less fuel as well. Firepower, better tyre saving than Rodders, but again he's got a big gap to his teammate now, so they've spread out. Techno back in fourth, big gap as well, and so as well for Stacker. As there's Callum. Oh, Stacker's gone round, he's just made a mistake, clipped the grass. Unlucky there for Stacker, but he gets going trouble free, so he gets back going again, not lost much time. There's Callum coming out into the complex section. There's Jamo at the chicane, so that's the gap from first to second, about 3 or 4 corners. There's Neil, there's TY with Bidzster behind, so again they're pushing hard here. Push till the end, but I think Bidzster's filled up for what would be 28 laps when he's not going to do that, because Seat 1's already on lap 25 as it is, and Techno comes into the pits again. He's clearly running out of fuel here, so Stacker gets gifted 4th place here, as Techno's got to pit again for some fresh rubber and, more importantly, fuel to get to the end of the race. So he's put just enough in to get a few more laps done. So Techno then comes out just behind the GTE car that he's got to relap. So Stacker now with a bit of a gap, but obviously Techno on fresh tyres with roughly about the same amount of fuel as well. So we'll Was he on the softs? He is on the soft tyres as well. So we'll see if Techno can do anything here. We've got Rodders passing Task 1 here. So Rodders passing Task 1. Seat 1 about to pass the other Corvette. So remember, Callum gets the right of way with the line, so Seat 1's got to wait behind. Then he'll just have to wait behind, look at the hybrid that's saved up, get using that hybrid and go straight past. So let's have a look at the GT. So we've got Callum, there's Jamo, let's see where, there's Neil and there's TY, so TY is closing in on Neil now. So TY definitely closing in on Neil Farmack here. Waiting, poised to attack. Down to the chicane. Will he have a little go down here? Because obviously Neil's going to have to be saving fuel. Just look at the fuel gauge. Neil defends the inside. He's not going to let him go too easy, so he defends the inside from TY but goes wide. TY gets a little squirt around the outside. Tries to keep around the outside and get the inside for the next bit. Whoa! Squeezes him onto the curb. It was risky from TY that, but still got to try something, I suppose. But a bit out of context for TY there. Not like him to make a move like that, but still, let's see what he can do. He's going to have to try and wait for the straight now, unless he can go around the outside of him here, which would be a blooming good move if he could. And he's trying it, but no, can't quite get it done. Has to straighten the car out for the straight, and this is where he'll be able to get past, because Neil Farmack's got to think about saving fuel here, or he might even have to pit for a splash and dash. So let's see what TY is going to do here, and if Neil will pit, no, Neil's going round. So Neil going round again. Let's see where Seat 1 is. Seat 1's on the penultimate lap of the race, so one more lap left for Seat 1 after this one. He's about to lap his own class. So let's see how that goes. Meanwhile, TY ahead of Neil Farmack then. So TY ahead of Neil Farmack into that corner. He's got past him. So the dead tyres of Neil Farmack not helping him. Bidzster, his teammate, now is going to try and get past. As Bidzster tries to go around the outside of Neil Farmack here, he's going to go around the outside of him. Right around the outside. Just shows you the level of grip in that Porsche. Oh, Neil Farmack has to slow up with a twitch on the car, and Rodders goes through to lap them at the same time, and then gets past Bidzster. So Neil Farmack gets past. So TY, I don't think he's going to catch. Well, in fact, he might catch Jamo. We'll have to see how many laps are left. So we'll have to see. As Seat 1 crosses the line then onto his last lap of the race, so last lap for Seat 1 here. Rodders almost approaching his last lap. Let's keep watching this battle between Jamo and TY then. So there's Jamo in the Nissan. Plenty of fuel left, plenty of tyres left, so we'll be able to keep the WEC fully turned up. So TY's going to have to push here to try and get this, because he's heavier than Jamo as well, put too much fuel in. But Bidzster's put even more fuel in than TY, so Bidzster and TY not helping each other, not help themselves here, as Rodders goes past the two that are battling here. On to the last lap of the race then for everyone. Everyone on their last lap then, so once Seat 1 crossed the line, this time everyone behind Seat 1 will go, will be finishing the race as TY hits Jamo, misses his braking point, hits Jamo, so not good from TY there, made a little mistake. So we'll see how that goes towards the end, as Firepower lapping Task 1 there. So they're on the last lap of the race as well. But Seat 1 here, utterly dominant in this race. Start to finish almost. Coming towards the last corner, and who's that ahead of him? I don't know. We'll hopefully see on a. Let's have a look on the onboard. It's Stacker. So Stacker will have to do an extra lap if he don't let his teammate through here. So Seat 1 is going to come through, flashing his lights. He takes victory in race 2. Well done, Seat 1. He wins Division 2, LMP 1. Well done to him. Techno finishes across the line, so he finishes 5th. He's definitely finished the race now. Rodders will come across in 2nd place. Firepower will be in 3rd, and Stacker will finish in 4th for LMP 1. So let's see what other car is in the middle. That's Callum. So Callum's going to come through here to take victory in GTE. Well done to Callum. Well deserved, and he's just timed the fuel and tyres perfectly as usual. So Callum, well controlled, takes his 2nd win of the day. So Seek and Callum dominant in their divisions. So Callum takes victory in GTE. Well done to him. So there's Rodders coming across the line in second. Firepower's going to be third, but it's going to be a close finish on the line between these boys. TY's ahead of Jamo, but he's going to try and let Bidzster go through, but Bidzster's got to slow down for a penalty. So that all changed on the last lap. We'll get a quick replay. Okay, here's a replay of all the action that happened between Jamo, TY and Bidzster on the last lap then. So you see down into the chicane, Jamo defends the inside from TY. TY goes around the outside of Jamo here, and he gets up and then gets up the inside for the next bit. Brave move there by TY. Gets ahead of the Nissan, and then into the next corner, defends the inside. Jamo goes wide, and that leaves a gap for Bidzster to go straight through. So he's almost like let Bidzster through there. So Bidzster has got through, but what we don't know is Bidzster is actually carrying a 2-second penalty here for track limits earlier on in the race. Or earlier on in the lap, should I say. And then down out of this last corner, TY tries to let him go through just to try and give him a few extra points, but obviously Bidzster's got the penalty as it is, so TY almost at risk of losing the places to Jamo, and this is how they cross the line. So you see Bidzster goes in front, but then has to brake because of the penalty and can't get rid of it enough, so then ends up falling behind TY and Jamo. So as we come back from that then, Firepower comes across the line in third, with Neil Farmack behind, finishing in 10th place overall in his class. Stacker's going to come through in 4th for his, and then Task One's going to be in 5th in last in his class as well. So there's Stacker. Stacker's the only one to finish now, so once Stacker comes across the line, the race will be over. So we'll just get those results confirmed for you now, guys. Okay guys, here's the results from that end. So Seat 1 takes a big win. Well done to Seat 1, a good victory there for him. Rodders in 2nd place. And then it's Firepower on the podium in 3rd, so it's a Jorex 2-3. And then it's Stacker in 4th, ahead of Techno, so some good points there for Stacker as well. And then Division 1, Callum wins that one from TY, from Jamo, and then Bidzster. So obviously Bidzster got a penalty on the end for track limits. And then it goes down to 9th place. Neil in 10th, Task 1 in 11th. Techno, fastest lap, 1:28.0. And that leaves us with the overall points then. So we get Seek 1 on 126 points for Division 2. He's in the lead in his class and overall. And in the lead in his class, Callum in 2nd place overall on 119. Then it's Bidzster 3rd overall, 99. Techno on 95. Rodders on 92. In the teams, it's the Porsche Marlboro team on 194. And then it's a tie for 2nd place with Team Art and AC Motorsport sharing 180 points. Team Jorex just behind. So after all that then, Seat 1 takes victory in LMP1 and Callum takes victory in GTE in their divisions respectively. So Seat 1 wins overall, so well done to him. So we'll see you guys next round at Saint Croix C for the special event. So this is an original track for the special event. So we'll see you guys then, and it is double points. So watch out for that, guys. Take care.